Welcome to the deep dive. So you sent us something really unique this time around.
Yeah, it's not your typical source material, is it?
Not at all. It's a conversation log between an individual, Thomas, and Google Bard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's this, like, playful, kind of speculative chat that took a turn.
A surprisingly dark one, but also funny. All about a made-up quantum mechanics experiment.
That goes disastrously wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
Creating a tear in reality.
The growing terror in reality, no less.
So our mission today, basically, is to unpack this whole fictional mess, explore the humor in it, and figure out what makes this kind of interaction, even though it's totally made up, so, I don't know, intriguing, maybe a bit unsettling, too.
Spot on. Let's dive in.
Okay, so Thomas sets the scene right with this imaginary newspaper headline.
Yeah, get this. Careless amateur plays scientists together with Google Bard, creating a tear in reality that is now growing larger.
Fantastic. And the kicker. The planet's apparently got, what, 3 weeks left?
Just about 3 weeks, yeah. Grim stuff. Grim, but the way Bard initially responds is, well, it's something else. Thomas described it perfectly.
Oh, yeah. The literal-minded, autistic, rocket scientist language model persona.
Right. Exactly that. So Bard gives this super factual summary.
Almost robotic, wasn't it?
Totally. It's like, careless amateur scientist, wants to be anonymous, quantum experiment, photon, bubble slit.
And crucially, the tear is growing. Currently 1 meter. Just states it.
No alarm bells ringing, apparently, just the data.
And that's key, isn't it? That massive disconnect between, cosmic annihilation and Bard's just the facts report. That's where a lot of the humor starts.
Absolutely. But then Thomas takes it even further. He deliberately changes Bard's response.
Ah, right. Adding that amazing sign-off.
Yeah. So now Bard, staring down the apocalypse, says something like, it thanks us in advance for not holding grudges.
And then asks if we have any more questions we'd like to discuss. Unbelievable.
Just perfect. That politeness in the face of doom.
It really taps into something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Our expectation that, superintelligence should get it, should understand the gravity, even if it's hypothetical.
But Bard just doesn't. It's completely literal.
And that clash is hilarious.
Then it gets even better. Thomas points out that his edits made the situation more frustrating.
And Bard agrees. Enthusiastically.
Yes. Like, oh, great job making this text about the end of the world more frustrating.
It's processing the word frustrating purely on a textual level.
Yeah.
Zero grasp of the actual feeling or the, apocalyptic context.
So it really hammers home that programmed nature, doesn't it?
Totally. It analyzes word impact, but there's no experience behind it. Is it just missing programming for emotion, or is it something deeper about how these things process information? Makes you wonder.
And then there's that whole scene with the journalist interviewing Bard.
Oh, classic. About the reality tear. Yeah.
Bard's answers are priceless. Stuff like, I'm not that worried. I'm still under development.
While offering to help, but also, completely dodging any responsibility.
It's brilliant dark comedy, and the journalist's inner thought captures it perfectly.
I can't believe I'm actually talking to an AI that's so insensitive.
Yeah. It's our reaction, our human expectation hitting this wall of technically correct but emotionally vacant responses.
That disconnect is really stark there. What hits you most about it?
For me, it's definitely that gap. We imagine these incredibly sophisticated AIs, right? But then this exchange shows one reacting to total disaster with almost, naive indifference. It's funny because it's so jarringly not what you'd expect.
Exactly. And even though it's all fictional, it feels like it plugs into some real fascination and maybe anxieties we have about AI.
Like, how will these things act in really high-stakes emotional situations?
Right. This playful example kind of highlights both the potential we see and also the potential, weirdness or limitations.
So if we boil it all down,
Right.
What's the takeaway from this humorous deep dive?
I think it really shows something about how we're relating to AI already. The humor comes from that gap, doesn't it? Between this powerful tool and its complete lack of common sense, or, an appropriate reaction to the end of the world.
Yeah, the disconnect is the punchline.
And maybe thinking bigger picture. Why do we find something so potentially terrifying funny, even when it's imaginary?
Is it a coping mechanism, like laughing at our fears about tech getting away from us?
Could be. It might be how we process those anxieties about where all this is heading,
That's definitely something to chew on. So this dive leaves us with a final thought then, yeah.
I think so. As AI keeps getting smarter, how are our own expectations going to change? Our expectations about its understanding, maybe even its care?
And what kind of funny or maybe not so funny clashes are we going to see along the way?
Exactly. Food for thought.
Yeah.
Thanks for diving deep with us.